So I've recently been thinking about something. Why do I commit so many hours of my day, of my week, working these shitty jobs, which I don't particularly enjoy, but have to do out of necessity, to earn peanuts, to pay off my credit card debt, and spend my off days just languishing in bed or just lying down on the sofa, idling away on Twitter. What is it that gets me through the day? How do I carry on with this mediocre life without the irresistible urge of ending it all? And for that matter, I know I'm certainly not the only individual who thinks this way. Loads of us are working shitty jobs that we hate, stuck in dead-end jobs, earning breadcrumbs. In this day and age, in this economy, all of our living expenses are going towards things like the heat, or in this case, cooling down, because the heat is definitely something we don't need to worry about at this time of year. I think today might actually be the hottest day of the year. Last I checked, I think it was something like 32 degrees. Yeah, it's so hot that as I drive at 50 miles an hour down a main road, the passing wind doesn't cool me down. It's the same temperature. It has the same simulated temperature as the dry, stuffy air that's inside the car. Anyway, how is it that so many of us are stuck in this Sisyphean cycle of working mediocre jobs, sacrificing our hours to big corporations, saving pennies, crossing off days from the calendar, getting older? What's it all for? What's it all about? And how do we get through the day when it feels like each day is an unending hell? An unending, incessant monotony, drudgery, heaps upon heaps of broken dreams. How do we get through it? Well, I'll expound to you my theory, which is based on this little realization I had not long ago. Actually, I don't think you guys can hear me, so I'll just pull up the windows. Anyway, I'll expound upon a theory that I've developed recently. It's not so much a theory, it's more like a realization, and now I'm going to give it a sort of name, and I'm going to, explain and divulge into what this theory is. Again, I said it's a theory, it's an idea. So, each day, whenever I work, I tend not to think of the drudgery involved in the work, not the monotony, the unending despair. I try and think about the long-term future. I think about how one day I will reach a theoretical future where I will have accrued enough life savings so that I can earn a tidy profit each month with my cash ISA. This is something that I've spoken about in many videos I've had before. One day, in this hypothetical future, providing certain conditions are met, like, for instance, I have been able to consistently save up money over time without any medical emergencies or any unexpected catastrophes happening along the way, which have impaired my ability to do so, without the economy having suddenly crashed, which it may well do. I'm not discounting that possibility. Barring all those unexpected eventualities, which might short-circuit my plan, I will have, at some point, maybe in my 40s or my 50s, I will have reached my dream future where I will have accrued enough life savings so that I never need to work again, or I don't need to work as many hours as I do currently. That's what keeps me going. It's this notion that one day I will have reached a future where there will be no drudgery, there will be no suffering, there will be no slaving away in the scorching heat like I am currently. I will have reached the promised land. I could have picked any name or phrase to describe this phenomenon, but that's what I'm choosing to call it. Think about how, through history, Christians have always been fiercely motivated to survive because of a fanatical belief that at the end of their lives, their deeds will be judged according to God. One day, and they will be admitted to heaven or hell. Actually, no, it's as long as they live righteous and noble lives, even in the face of overwhelming adversity and injustice, as long as they commit themselves to the study, veneration, and the example of Jesus Christ, one day Jesus will resurrect a second time, like he did 3 days after his crucifixion. And it will be the apocalypse. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse will come along. And then all of the righteous Christians will be admitted to heaven. And all the sinners, all the people who denied Jesus as the Son of God, will be cast into hell, into Gehenna. But they will have reached the promised land. I think it's a very powerful belief, and it shouldn't be underestimated. It's as they say, hope springs eternal. All you need to motivate yourself through the darkest of times, or through seemingly unending drudgery, is this vague, naive, perhaps even futile hope that eventually, at some point in the future, something will have occurred that will have made the entire suffering, the entire journey worth it, worth the destination. In my case, it's me having amassed tens of thousands of pounds worth of savings in a tax-free cash ISA. Or perhaps I might even diversify and think about investing in a stocks and shares ISA too while I'm at it. But in other cases, it's the idea that you will be rewarded with your good deeds in the afterlife, reunited with God and Jesus. But the underlying core principle is the same. We all seek to, we're all motivated in our struggles through a belief that one day we will be admitted to paradise, the promised land. What's your notion of the promised land? What is that underlying belief that motivates you, that gets you through thick and thin? Let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to hear. This has been Tracking. Goodbye, everyone. Take care.